Welcome to Daisy Nick's Recipes, DIY and Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pyjama pillow bag for your bed and a pair of mittens. Hi everyone, today I'm going to be upcycling and repurposing this old sweater. Now you can use any sweater you have at home or ask friends and family to give you their old sweaters. Now what I'm doing today is I'm going to make a pair of mittens out of the arms and a pillow out of the body so I can use it on my bed to put my pyjamas in to keep my bed looking nice and tidy. So I'm going to first of all cut around the arm area to make my mittens. So it all depends on what your jumper's like, but this has a really good cuff. So I'm going to use that as the cuff area and then make a mitten out of this area here. So with my chalk, just going to mark, leaving some spare room from the end of the finger, just a little way to accommodate the stitching. There we go, and I'll cut the other one out the same. Now we've got these, we will turn them inside out and then sew them. You can hand stitch these or you can stitch them on the machine. It's completely up to you. If you hand stitch, it is quite easy. If you do it on the machine, you do have to go very slowly and just keep repositioning as you go round. I've decided to do mine on the machine. I'm using a standard stitch at that length, so I will just show you what I'm doing. Now you have to every now and again just stop, lift it up and reposition because it does stretch. So you just have to every now and again just move it along. And then again I'll do the same, and I'll do that all the way around here. And as you get down to here again, you have to move it all the way around in the circle to stop this from stretching. So there you go, I've stitched all the way around. I'm now going to turn it the right way around and you can have a look at how that turned out. So there you go, I have finished sewing round my mitten. I will turn that the right way around. And there's one mitten. You can keep it long or turn it down like that to have a nice little bobbly end. So that's how easy it is to make a little mitten out of a sleeve. Now obviously if you're making it for a smaller child, you can just make them any size you want, just cut round their hand and there you go, one mitten. I'm now going to make the pillow section. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew on the outside because it's got bobbles. I don't want to lose those bobbles, so I'm going to first of all sew on the outside. So I shall just clip this into place so it doesn't move about. And then I will sew this on the machine. You can also hand sew this if you prefer. Okay, so I've sewed it on the bottom now. and we're going to cut along here. I'll use these scissors. Depending on where the pattern is, if there is one on your sweater, it really depends where you need to cut. But be careful here because of the zip. I don't want to ruin my scissors. I'm going to use other scissors just for this zip area. There we go. Make sure your zip's slightly down as well. And now we're going to turn this inside out and sew on the other side. So make sure your zip is undone so you can turn it inside out again. So you make sure you line everything up at the top. And I'm going to use my clips again just to hold everything in place. Now when I've sewed across here and on the bottom on my machine, I didn't just go straight across, I hand cranked it just past this area so it didn't hit my needle on any of the metal. So just hand crank when you go past this area here. That's if you're doing it on the machine. Obviously if you're hand sewing, you just have to be careful of your needle and where you're placing it. So I'm going to go and sew along here now, and then I'll show you how that's turned out. As I'm sewing over the zip, it's really not holding together very well. So what I'm going to do is get a piece of ribbon and I'm going to sew it down over here in a square over this whole section, really just to hold that zip area in place at the top. And don't forget when you get to the end to just go back and forth a little bit. There we go, I've machined all the way along there, double over like at the end, back and forth. So let's turn this round and see how it looks. I'll zip that up. There we go, that looks fab. And I will use that on my bed to put my pajamas in. You could also stuff it just as a pillow if that's what you prefer, to just have a pillow. There we go, one pillow and a pair of mittens out of an old jumper. If you've enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more DIYs. And here's my pajama pillow, or you could just have it as a standard pillow on my bed. Looking fab, keeping my pajamas nice and tidy. And here are the mittens. So really good upcycling project out of an old jumper.